Hey everyone, it's Perseus the Bookworm here. I just want to say sorry for not uploading with literally a year. Stuff happened, so yeah. Also, sorry I'm in my PJs. I didn't want to change out of them, and I have to film this quickly because my mum might be home soon. Can't really tell. And I've also got 2 more videos that I'm planning to do after this one. They just might not be done till next week. So yeah. So this video is going to be all the books I read in 2022. I thought I would start off with that one just to get it out of the way. So yeah, I'm planning to do it in order because I can kind of remember what I did in order. If I don't remember, I'll look at my Goodreads. So if I ever look at my computer for that reason, that's why. So yeah, let's start off with the first book I ever read in 2022. I technically started this one in 2021, but of course I didn't finish it in time because I started it on like Christmas Eve. So therefore it continued on to the new year, which is More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. Now this is about a 16-year-old boy named Aaron Suto who's had a procedure that's meant to suppress the memories that he wants suppressed. And this one is the memory of him coming to realize that he's gay, which is the true reason why his father is no longer alive. So yes, this book is quite sad. He does slowly come to remember these things, such as the operation and the things that he forgot because of this new guy named Thomas. So yeah, that's the overall of it. I did like this book, even though it was quite sad and all that. Definitely a good book. Yeah, that's what that one's about. So that was the first book I read last year. The second one has been adapted into a Netflix series, which is, give me a minute, You by Caroline Kepnes. Now I think I wanted to start reading this because I was interested in the show, so I don't think I realised it was a book beforehand. So when I saw this there, I thought I might as well give it a read. For those who somehow don't know yet, this is about a guy named Joe who works in a bookstore who becomes obsessed with Guinevere Beck, but we first would be called Beck. And he starts becoming a little obsessive stalker of Beck, which doesn't end well with him at the end. If you've read it or watched the show. If you have read the book and watched the show, how accurate do you think this show is to the book? Yeah, I liked this quite a bit. Yeah, so I find it weird when he was going through the shrink, as it's called in here, which I think is the term for therapist, that they use a cat and mouse metaphor when it comes to like obsessive things, if that makes sense, if you know what I'm trying to get at. So, yep, but I don't have to get everything, so. The third book I read last year which is another video I'm planning to do sometime, which is You've Reached Sam by Dustin Thau. Again, like with You, this, if you don't know the premise of it, maybe been. This is about a girl named Julia who just lost her boyfriend because of a car accident, and she wants to hear his voice one more time, so she rings his phone hoping to hear his voicemail, but then for some odd reason, Sam picks up, even though he's no longer alive. And the whole message of the book is to say, what would you kind of do if you got one more chance to say goodbye to someone you didn't get to say goodbye to before they passed, or before they left for something. Now, I will say this now, this is the first book to make me physically cry. Books have made me like sad before, but they haven't made me cry before. So You've Reached Sam, for me, is the first ever book to actually make me physically cry. So you know it's impactful when a book has made me cry. Movies and TV shows have made me cry all the time because, you know, it's always the fairy character that gets offed. So, but you know it hits different when it's a book for me. So yeah, so that's that one. I think I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads simply because of the impact at the end. So now this next one is, I believe, this one, which is If This Gets Out by Sophie Gonzalez and Cale Dietrich. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but that's it there. Now this is about 2 members of a boy band that consists of 4 members who are queer, with Ruben being gay and Zach slowly realizing in the first few chapters that he's bisexual. Behind the scenes, Ruben and Zach get together. The management are like, no, don't come out yet. Not while you still got Russia in mind and for the world tour. You can come out afterwards. Slowly realizing not gonna happen. You're not gonna come out afterwards because you need all the teenage female fans. So, but it gets better at the end. I think at the end, if I remember correctly, they start getting what's the word? They kind of get like legal stuff come in, I think. Yeah, so that's that one. So this one's that one's Zach. That one's Ruben. So yeah, that's what. Yeah, I have seen a lot of reviews on that one's like it's a Larry, like it kind of like mimics a Larry fanfic, which I don't know. I never read a Larry fanfic, so yeah. Now the next one was To All the Boys I Loved Before. I either read this one before or I think it either went You've Reached Sam, this one, then If This Gets Out, or You've Reached Sam, If This Gets Out, this one. But it's close to order. So this one is To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han. About to say Jennifer. Again, if you don't know what this one is, surprisingly, because it has also a Netflix adaptation, but not a TV show, movie. It's about a girl named Lara Jean who's written 5 love letters to her crushes just to let out her emotions because she doesn't know how to handle them, which I mean, relatable sometimes, to me at least. But her younger sister Kitty sends them out for the reason of because he never had a boyfriend, he might need some help, sort of thing. And this kind of leads to her and Peter fake dating. For Peter's reason being to make his ex-girlfriend jealous. And I forgot what Lara Jean's one was reason because I read this like between like May and June, or like between April and June I read this, so it was like a while ago. I liked it. I did watch the movie beforehand, which is not that uncommon for me, because sometimes I won't realise it's something's a book beforehand. So, yeah. Now, the next one was this one, which was the first volume of Heartstopper. Again, another one that has a Netflix adaptation. For those who also don't know what this one's about, this is about Charlie and Nick. Charlie is openly gay, I think he's openly gay. Nick's realising he's bisexual, if this gets out. And yeah, I like the cartoony style of it as well, because it's very cartoonish, which I like. Yeah, I think I started reading this after it was announced that it was getting an adaptation, or already after the adaptation's already on Netflix. I'm planning to watch it, so don't worry. Yeah, so it's quite good. I also started reading it because I just wanted to see what the hype was about as well. Ignore the TV, it does that after I haven't interacted with it for a bit. Now this next one I started reading because last year was my reading goal was to read 7 books. I initially wanted to read Dune as the last book of 2022, or at least the last one of my goal. I realised slowly that wasn't going to happen because Dune had a lot of confusing words. It was mucking me about. So in replacement of that one, I decided to read Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark collected by Alvin Schwartz and drawings by Stefan Gamel. Yeah, if you can see it, I don't know if you can. Just search up Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark book and you'll see who it's collected by. This is a series of short stories that you can tell to people to try and scare them, all that. What's even funnier is it's not funny, but it has all these little subsections. That's also by them. Where is it? This is the one I'm looking at. It has little subsections of different scary stories. And the last one, it has these stories that are meant to kind of end in a funny way. The one that I can remember is that you're meant to scream out "ah" and just leave it at that. And it's meant to have the people guess why you scream and all that, and you're meant to answer was like, well, you'll scream too if you stepped on a nail, and I found that quite clever, quite funny. I would definitely laugh at that if someone read it out to me like that as well. So yeah, one more book. This was one more book that I read last year, and that was All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. This was the final one I managed to read before 2022 ended. So yeah, for this one, again, another Netflix adaptation. I'm just realizing how many Netflix adaptation books I have read this year. Yeah, so this is... I can't really necessarily describe it that well. So I always, when I tell someone about it, I always use what's on the front cover here, which is the story of a girl who learns to live from a boy who wants to die. I just use that as the kind of description because I can't really describe it that well, unlike the other ones. Yeah, so this is... Let me try. So this is about Theodore Finch and Violet Markey. Theodore is the one that wants to off himself. Violet thinks about it. She learns to live through him and all that. This is another one that made me cry last year. So this is the second book that made me cry last year at the end, if you know why. So yeah, these are all the books I read in 2022. Total of 8. Now that's kind of like an average for me, because I can read anywhere between like 8 and 11. I'm not that much of a mood reader. Well, I am a mood reader. It all just depends on what I feel like reading and all that. So yeah, so I've got 2 more videos that I'm planning to do after this one. One is all the books I got for Christmas last year, and the 2 books that made me cry. So look out for those eventually, and I might answer it now just because I can. I don't normally have a reading plan for the year because, like I said earlier, I'm a mood reader. I kind of need to feel like reading in order to do it, and the book that attracts me is one I read next. So I'm not like a person that goes, I read this book, then after that I must read this one, then this one, then this one, then that one, if that makes sense. I'm more of just like, I feel like reading that one. So I just pick up whichever random one. But for this year particularly, I definitely do want to read Bones and All by Cale Angelis. I definitely want to read that one this year. And I think I definitely want to read Everything by Nicole Yoon, I think that's her name. I definitely want to read those 2 this year. Whether or not I do is up to my mood, but I definitely do want to read those 2 at some point. It's either going to be I'm going to be reading one of those or watching Supernatural, one of those 2. So yeah, again, so sorry that I haven't been uploading on the channel. It's not that I've forgotten about it. I'm very well aware that it's here. I just haven't uploaded because other things happened. So yeah, but I'll definitely try to become more active on here because I just feel like I need to, and I kind of want to. So yeah, give this video a like if you liked it. Give it a subscribe. Can't give a video a subscribe. Subscribe if you want to though. That would be cool. So yeah, and I'll see you all in my next video, whenever that may be. Bye.